Hi guys, it's Mike here from KS Bushcraft Down Under. Today I thought I'd do you a review of the Bushman Roadie, a 15 litre fridge freezer. Now I did get off to a bit of a rough start with this unit. The first one I was supplied had a fault, and every time I closed the lid the unit shut down. So I must admit that in dealing with the guys at Roadie, they sent me out to replace my unit, and it's been fine ever since. So really designed as a bit of a companion fridge freezer to put in the car and keep your drinks cold, and which it does and really quite well. Now weight 10 kilos, height 380mm, depth 220, length 535. So quite a compact little unit. Now the pentometer dial on the fridge is marked in degrees. Now it's actually a bit false. Now I spoke to Bushman when I tested it, because I found the dial to be about 4 degrees off, and the reason it is 4 degrees off is the temperature sensor isn't inside the cabinet. It's actually attached to the back of the evaporator. Now the evaporator is the part inside your fridge, and the condenser, which lets the heat out, is outside your fridge. So it's measuring really the coldest part of the fridge. So his suggestion to me was, if I wanted cold drinks, to put it on -4. So be aware of that. Now quite a nice cabinet. Now it does take 2 litre bottles and 1.25 bottles, which is really handy. And it's got a couple of cup holders on top, which is nice. It comes supplied with a Merit plug and Anderson leads, and I personally swapped my entire vehicle over to Anderson plugs. Plus it comes with a pardon the bumps, a set of tie down straps. Now the screws that came with these would not go into metal because they were soft stainless steel woodworking screws. I replaced them with metal techs. The catch is really great because it's magnetic, so I can't count the number of times I've driven along and forgot to lock the catch on my angle and it's been rattling. Now the Lids Reversible is that you can change the which side it opens from, so depending how you fit it in your vehicle, quite a good feature. So probably the greatest mistake everyone makes when they're putting in fridges in cars, I'll just mention it now, is using the wrong size wiring. Now that's what we call 6mm twin sheath, and that's what I use. Now I've made a set of extension cords up to get the fridge out of the car and to reach my solar panels. So I bought one of these little amp gauges, and it's really quite a fabulous thing. Now it's showing 14 volts, that's telling me that the fridge isn't cycling at the moment. And now there's a 60-second delay every time you touch the dial. So here she's cycling now. So drawing 2.85 to 3.25 amp hours. Now it's only been running for 40 minutes since I plugged in this morning, and it's already drawn just about 2 amp hours. So not exactly light. So with your wiring, this is some bits I dragged out of the shed. That's not sufficient. Now this is supposedly a 10 amp heavy duty lead, and this is the type of wiring you'll find in some of the cheap accessories. And I'll also include the cigarette lighter plug in your car, so you can't use that. You've really got to do a decent job. Whether you go to Anderson plugs as I have, or prior to that I used to have these low voltage plugs, this style, and I found they were fine. Right. So I did some tests on the Roadie, and here we are. Now these are the figures for the fridge dial that it allows for the error due to the temperature sensor being picked up on the evaporator. So now we had a burst of hot weather. So the first day I did a warm start on the fridge, and it was 28 degrees during the day, 18 at night, and and the dial was set on 0, so in actual fact it was +4. I draw 24 amp hours. The second day I cranked it down to -4 on the dial. We had a 34-degree day, but a hot still night, and she drew 40.6 amp hours. The following day the dial was at -8, 36 degrees during the day, but it cooled off quickly to 21 and it drew 30 amps. The following day it wasn't that hot, it was only 28 degrees, 17 overnight. I had the dial down to -12 and it drew 44 amp hours. And on the final day, it was 32 degrees during the day, 20 at night, and it drew 58 amp hours. Now, as a rough guess, my Engel fridge in a blanket, this is just a rough figure, by the way. It's I used to draw about 10 amp hours at 20 degrees. That's at 2.5 degrees cabinet temperature. 30 at 20 and 40 at 40. These are amp hours. That's temperatures. Now, keeping power up to this thing. Now, my 64-watt solar panel mounted on the roof, once a cloudy day, did 13.8 amp hours. My 200-watt kick-ass panels did 27.8 amps. So, this is the consumption. Now, I'll just run you over to where it was. Okay, so there's the car. Now, the car's sitting in a garage with a tile roof. So at no point were those temperature readings, were ambient air temperatures, and it was in the shade all day long. And so I'd say a fairly conservative test. Now I know some of these guys get amazing results on how little their fridges are drawing, but frankly I don't believe it. I really don't. So I mean, ideal conditions, the solar panel was in clear sun all day. I mean, this morning she's putting out about 2 amps, but it's just gone 8 o'clock in the morning, so it'll come up from there. And that's where we are. Now, just testing the theory that I sometimes wonder if a fridge is better than an esky. I've got this 125 litre Techni Ice now. This is a serious esky. I think the walls are 70 odd millimetre and the lid's about 90 odd millimetre. Now, on the same day I started that test, I pre-chilled it with an ice brick. Then I threw in 2 bags of party ice. So a bag of party ice for me is $4.50 Australian. That's 5 kilos. So there's no way that I put enough ice in this esky for the test. But 5 days ago, I put it in. Now, this morning, we've still got some cubes. And I've been putting in and out sort of two pop bottles. So there's 6 days on less than $10 worth of ice. So that makes an interesting comparison. Now my solar panels weigh 17 kilos. So, yes, tough decisions. Anyway guys, I hope you found this interesting. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.